Today, we're going to make this beautiful candle choir candle holder. What if you surprised your wife or mom with this gorgeous gift? Who do you know that has a big birthday coming up? Imagine their joy when they get one of these. Now, let's go back to the past so I can show you how I did it, and we can learn together what I learned. Hey, I'm back in the past. I'm going to show you what I did. Actually, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. But when you're looking at it, it'll be what I did when I did it so that I can say what I said, make what I made, and together we can learn what I learned. So today's project, as you saw, is this cool candle choir thing, candle holder for 7/8 inch taper candles. And I used Canva to make this drill template. And if you want to know how I did that, or you want a copy of this, leave it in the comments. I will see it and I will get you a copy and I will make that video if you're interested. I am going to also use this drill mate. This is the first time I'll use this tool, and I'm excited to get it out of the box and give it a run. And of course, tape measure. So the process I'm using this old barnwood timber, and I'm going to cut it to 26 inches, even though I only need 24, because I'm then going to run it through this, what do you call this thing? Oh, joiner. Run it through my joiner until one side's flat, and then put it back in my compound miter and trim both ends, you know, completely 90 degrees, make sure it's beautiful. And then I'm going to sand it all down to 220. And then I'm going to tape my template on. I'm going to set up my jig, and I am going to drill all of these holes and test and use my 7/8 inch paddle drill. I'm probably going to drill a pilot hole first and then use the paddle drill. But again, I'm learning, and we're learning together. So once that's all done, then I will probably, I think, take the Dremel and a little sanding disc, and I'll smooth the mouth of each hole up, I think. And then once I've got all of the debris removed, I've got all the holes deep enough, then I'm going to come back and sand it again. I don't know, probably to like 600. I want it to still look like barnwood, but I want it to be like silky smooth to the touch. So let's get this thing cut to 26 inches. And let's see, I got a nail right here, so I got to watch out for that. Let me spin it. No nails there. There actually might be nails in the end of this thing all the way across. So let's see, what does 26 inches look like if I just cut it, first of all, right here in front of this nail. Let's see. And like, interesting, that red paint. I don't know if I can preserve that or not. That's kind of a cool thing from the old barns. Let's see, I don't want to take any risks, but I don't want to waste any wood either. And I like that knot, so I'm going to keep pushing it up here to the edge where that nail is out of the picture pretty good. And let's throw some sawdust here. Here we go. Ready? Okay, and back to one of my other videos, and I'll link to it here or here. Dust will make you sick. I'm okay with this for just like a minute. Otherwise, I would rearrange everything and move all my hoses and clamp it down good. If I was going to make a whole bunch of cuts here, I would turn on my fan. But I want you guys to be able to hear me. But I am going to turn on the fan for the rest of this cut. But the reason I stopped is that I thought I heard it hit metal. Oh, I did. Oh. I didn't make that as carefully as I should have. I looked and I did not see. That reminds me of the scripture that says we don't know and we don't want to know. But I did want to know and I did look. I just didn't do it well. Okay, let's put that in the trash. I don't want that in my shoe later. Okay, let's try it again. Put it back in here. And with the blade off, I'm going to slide it down in that slot. Okay, it's in the right position. I'm going to turn the fan on. Turn that one on high, and turn this one on high. Turn it off so you can hear me again. All right, so now I'm going to keep this because I am not sure, as I learn here, if the base of this is going to be bigger than what I'm drilling into, and I may need a neighbor, you know, to set it on so that it works. All right, now I'm going to go for 26 inches this direction. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but, you know, my habit of measuring, I just can't let go of it. So, all right, now I'm going to roll this and check it for nails one more time. Okay. It's all right. Measure again. Okay, that's good. Good. All right, now, next task. And my hearing protection is in the house, but I won't have it on very long. Hearing damage, I'll have to look it up again, but it's something like prolonged above a certain level. So whatever the decimal ceiling is and prolonged exposure to it is what causes damage, as I remember the formula. And I think it's something up above 90 decibels, which this is right at 90. Like my chainsaw, I think it runs at 95. And so I wear hearing protection with it all the time because, you know, I'm running it tank after tank, sometimes 3-4 tanks gas almost in a row. And that's going to hurt my ears. So I check these for bugs because they're hanging out here in the shed. And I don't want to talk to them. All right, so which side do I make level? Let's see which side is almost level. We got quite a wobble going on there. Okay, that's not bad. Terrible wobble there. That one's not bad. So it's either this side or this side. So I'm going to flatten this bottom side here because see how badly it's split? And my thinking is I want this down and not showing so that I can get better holes drilled here in the top. And I'm going to gear up here and... All right, that worked out really good. Nice and pretty and smooth. Now I'm going to put it back in my compound miter now that I've got this amazingly beautiful smooth edge. See how there's a big gap here and it's touching here. So that tells us how out of square it was. And I'm just going to shave one end until it's square. And then I'll cut the rest of it off of the other end, you know, so I have a bigger piece. Now, for my next trick, I'm going to lay this flat, get my template, and there are 20, how many are there? 28, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 28 holes. And they're in this 3-row pattern so that when the candles are all in there, man, it looks really cool. It looks like this whole choir of candles going, "Ah, Gloria," you know, for your birthday or whatever your celebration is. And to get them lined up and squared up, I used some quilt making tools to get this cut correctly. And now let's tape it on there. I'm eyeballing it for evenness from one end to the other. And then let's look at it. I've got almost a 1/2 inch on that end. That is pretty good. Okay, now I want it evenly spaced between the two sides. Oh, I said I was gonna sand it first. I've changed my mind here in process because, why did I change my mind? Do I need a because? I'm the artist, right? I think I would rather have the holes, and then as I sand, I'll be cleaning up the holes as well as I go. So there, that's my reason I made up right there on the spot. I think the real reason is I want to get to drilling the holes because it's going to be fun. New tool, always love using a new tool. Now I only need, see these holes, these circles are bigger than 7/8, but the center is the center, and that's what really matters. I've got, when I did this in Canva, I just picked a circle with an X through it and made sure that the X was in the middle of my 7/8 inch circle. If you can see the faint lines in there, what I did first was I took 3 nickels and I did the pattern the way I wanted it and put it a 1/2 inch from the edge, and then kind of positioned them how I wanted them, made them look pretty, and then replicated that pattern to see if it would be right on 24 inches, and I was way off. So I expanded it until it covered the 24 inches, and then resized the holes. It's an interesting process. It's something that you can easily learn how to do in Canva. And again, if you want that information, leave me a comment that you do, and I'll put the template and I'll send you the template and I'll make a video for it and tag you. I didn't plan to do that today, but as I was getting ready, I thought, you know what? Somebody may actually want to know how to do that, so just holler. Okay, so now this is called Miles Craft Drill Mate Portable Drill Press. Now, since I don't have a drill press, I got this so that I could put my drill in it. And the drill I have is this one. So it looks like it's going to fit okay in there. Look at that. Perfect. Now let's drill the first hole and see how this thing works. Okay, let's see. Let's do one of these. So I'll position it, do a test drop first, hold it still. Was that the correct depth? Really? Yep, that's what I asked it for. Okay, next one. Interesting, it's drifting to the top of the hole. I think maybe it's because the top of the board is so wonky. Unlevel. And that's going to be really important so that I don't want uneven candles. So I'm going to have to build a very level platform on both sides to set this on. Well, that's the nature of working with barnwood that's wonky. Ooh, that's cool. It'll flip all the way around with ease. All right, so here's something else I learned. I moved over here to a more stable surface. I used one of my micro jig clamps to clamp it down where it was flat. Like if I clamped it here on the end because it's twisted, then it would twist up off the bottom and all of my candle holes would be crooked. So that at least keeps it stable to the bottom. And then I still kind of have to eyeball this, which I'm not happy about, but it is what I've got. And I decided also to use the 3/4 inch paddle and not the full 7/8 because paddles tend to wobble a little bit on me. And, well, I don't want any wobbling going on. So let's do this first one here. I've set the stop so that it plunges in about 1/2 inch, and then I'll test it with a candle and see if that's good. And then here's the purpose of the pilot hole you can see here. Now I'm holding it here because most of my pressure is here on my left thumb because that's the way it's rocking and I need it to be 90 degrees. So here we go. Okay, so that was an experience I didn't like because everything's wobbling. It's too unstable and that bit spinning like crazy. All right, so with that 3/4 of an inch, that allows me to set a candle in there and twist it a little bit and it stays. So when I clean the mouth of it, that might be okay. See, it'll catch the bottom of the candle, but not the fat part. The fat part won't sit down in there. So, got a decision to make here. It's really inaccurate to wobble it. And I have decided I do want it a little deeper. So, you loosen this up and lower it just about 1/8 of an inch. And then let's do that part again. This time I'm going to hold on to the handle no matter what. The amount of force it takes to drill down into this hardwood piece of barnwood is incredible. I was not anticipating that. All right, so the depth of that hole is right here, and that would come up right where the the top of the taper sits. I think that's good because that allows the customer to twist the candle and it stay in tightly. So I'm going to go with that, and then I'm going to put a platform on my workroom floor here to stand on. One of my chainsaw carving platforms, so that I'm up a little higher and I have a better angle. All right, let's do another one. So change plans here. Look at this. This is a Forester bit, and I decided to switch up from the paddle. I guess old habits. I've been using a paddle bit for so many years that I forgot I actually had this set of Forester bits. And this one is very sharp, and I'm going to use it now to cut the rest of these holes, and we'll see how much easier it is than before. That is still a lot of work. Look at that. All right. That's now the unpeel reveal. Here it comes. Ta-da! Wow, it looks like a whole bunch of bowling balls. Awesome. Okay, that looks pretty good. You know what? There's not going to be much smoothing out at the entrance to each hole. I think by the time I put, I'm just going to hit it lightly with 80, and then I'll go to 120, 220, 300 to leave the barn look to it, but get it nice and smooth. And I think that'll smooth out the top of the holes just fine. All right, awesome. There we go. All finished. 28 holes, 24 inches, sanded to 600 grit. Fits a 7/8 taper. It's smooth as baby skin to the touch all the way around. If you try really hard against some of the barnwood features, you're going to feel a little roughness, but in general, it's not going to snag anybody's clothes. It's not going to scratch any furniture. And I'm going to ask my customer if she wants feet. I can put little rubber feet, or I have screwed in rubber feet. I have stick-on felt feet. And we can just see what kind of feet she wants. So thanks for watching. If you like this kind of content, I appreciate you. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.